your identification.
What did you say? I'll tighten those restraints. Scavenger scum.
We don't need to see his identity.
I will remove these restraints and leave the cell with the door open. My lord.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Sidebar Cantina, the podcast where we talk about Star Wars, pop culture, our aging eyes, or whatever the fuck we feel like talking about.
Oh, look at the screen. Look at how the lightsaber looks. How awesome that is.
Yes.
Whoa.
Dave is playing with his lightsaber, and yeah, Star Wars podcast. I'm Mr. Jason Roscoe with me here each and every single week. The Darth Vader to my Palpatine, Dave Martin. Hello, Dave.
Hello, Jason.
How are you?
Since I'm the Darth Vader, I should probably have the red one out.
Yes, he's got all of his toys here today.
Indeed.
So this is episode 365.
365.
Yes, which means we've done an episode every day of the year for an entire year's worth
Yes.
of shows.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So if you were a podcast listener just starting out, just today,
Mm-hmm.
you're like, wow, here's this great podcast, and they're talking about things that I like about Star Wars and the new Andor season coming out. Like this is going to be great and super informative and not weird at all.
No, definitely not.
Definitely not at all. I should listen to this. You could listen to one episode every day for the next year
Yeah.
and have a new episode every single day.
Yeah.
And that probably won't even include I think there's probably some that are
Yeah.
not on there.
Well, we've also got some bonus episodes on there.
That's true.
Some that just mysteriously blew away.
Yeah, some.
But we don't need to talk about those.
No, not at all.
But yeah, just
People
interesting.
will. Somebody will. Somebody will talk about it. But
Yeah. We got up to 365 though. That's pretty incredible. Who is texting me? Never mind. So yeah. So that's that. I forgot what else I was supposed to say.
365.
Yes.
No, what's that? How's that thing? Oh no, that's 165,000.
Oh, 525,600 minutes.
That's right. There it is.
Yeah, I know some stuff from Rent. Rosario Dawson was in the movie.
There you go. See?
Which, by the way, did you see the weird wig she was wearing at Celebration?
Which one?
The blonde one.
She had a couple of different blonde ones on. I think she had it looked like a Fifth Element blonde one on, and then she had like a big Barbie girl.
Yeah, I think that's the one that
Blonde
I
one.
saw.
Yeah.
Like, it was just weird. Didn't look right on her.
No, it didn't.
So
But it's a celebration.
that's right. So anyway, what all are we talking about here today, Dave?
Well, we're going to talk about a celebration.
That's right.
Because Star Wars Celebration was just recently wrapped up that was me.
No, you froze on the actually. Yeah, your connection's kind of shit, I think.
What?
Yeah, because your video keeps lagging and freezing.
Really?
Yeah, it's fine. I'm sure it'll all work itself out. But anyway, yeah, we're talking about Celebration and that news.
And since season 2 of Andor starts, I don't know, in what, 12 hours?
Yeah.
Less than 12 hours?
Mm-hmm.
When is it actually
That is actually a good question. Because
is it one of those hey, at 3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time or whatever, Eastern Daylight?
Right.
Those fuck you daylight savings.
Which I prefer those, honestly, though there's more chance of spoilers happening.
Right, but
you'd actually
have to look at social media to get spoilers.
Right.
Like some of us really don't. Some of us just post things and just ignore it after that.
Yeah.
And then people are like, oh, did you see my comment? And I go, no.
For fuck's sake. So the 3 episodes are dropping at 9 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow.
Tomorrow at 2100.
Yeah. Our time. Now, for the West Coasters, they get to see it at 6. Their time.
So you got to wait till 2100.
Mm-hmm. That's some bullshit. Just release it at noon or something. Who the fuck cares? Why do you have to go with these prime time hours when that era of TV is gone? Like nobody gives a shit about that
So
anymore.
disappointing.
I know.
So disappointing.
So, and of course, it's all 3 episodes. So, most of us with jobs and lives are not going to stay up and watch 3 episodes of Andor
Right.
on a Tuesday night.
Yeah.
Starting at 9 p.m.
Yeah. There's no way.
Yeah.
What's my Wednesday look like? Hang on.
Yeah. So that's a bunch of bullshit. But anyway,
They
yeah.
have us by the snarglies, though. They know that, like, if you're a true fan.
Yeah, but come on, have some consideration for us East Coasters.
Since when did West Coast people have consideration for East Coast people?
Well, probably never.
See?
Goes all the way back to those rap wars between Dre, Snoop Dogg, and Biggie, and the rapist guy.
Which one?
Puffy.
Oh, the latest one.
Yeah.
The baby oil guy?
Yeah.
You know, that guy?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, no respect. Yeah, no respect.
Anyway, what were we talking about?
Andor.
Okay, yes, Andor starts tomorrow, and they're fucking us. They're fucking us.
They're fucking us with lots of baby oil.
Yeah.
Or without.
Tie that back into
without the baby oil.
into the Puffy.
Yeah.
All right, so I guess we should probably take care of some business first before we.
No, before we do that, I'm going to say, rest in peace to Pope Francis.
Yes,
he passed away
on Easter.
Easter Monday, I think, for at the Vatican. Again, this is not. We are an apolitical entity as far as 365 degrees of podcasting.
Mm-hmm.
But I know that Pope Francis was one of those world leaders that I think people tended to like.
Which is strange in today's world.
He had that like Catholicism wow thing almost, right? Where it was like, hey, he doesn't have like these crazy ideas, like, and he seems like he wants to make things better as opposed to try and choke things out. So literally, and there's something to be said for that. So there is regardless of what religion you practice or what brand of atheism you happen to be a part of, there are millions of followers of Catholicism. Wow. And they're all in mourning. So, and it's something, it's something to be respectful of. And yeah, that's it. And weirdly, so what made me think about it, I guess, more so, was we went and saw a Pope. They had a Pope thing when the Pope was in Philly. This is like in 2000. I think it was like 2015, 2017, something like that.
That wasn't this Pope, though.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Didn't they?
No. It was this Pope.
He's been in that long?
Yeah.
Because I remember when the old guy died, and then they replaced him with the Nazi.
Right.
And then he was in for a few years.
Right. But then he stepped away.
Right.
This guy's been Pope for like 13 years.
Huh.
Yeah.
I'll be damned.
So, yeah, they had an exhibit at the Franklin Institute for Pope Francis. And
yeah.
I've actually got a picture of Kate taking a selfie with a cardboard cutout of the Pope. But they had this giant Vatican fucking Lego.
What?
Outside. Dude, it was fucking amazeballs. It was the entire spread of like when you've been there, right?
The Vatican?
Yeah.
No.
You never got to go?
No.
Damn it. I am so fortunate. I've actually gotten to go twice.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's Rome is just such an interesting place.
I've only ever gone to Venice when I've gone to Italy.
Yeah, I if you're going to travel overseas and you only have a handful of places you can go, I highly recommend going to Rome as one of them.
Yeah.
For the obvious reasons, because there's tons of shit that's ancient and it's sitting there. It's just out there.
Yeah.
Right. Walk around. You can't twist your fucking head one way or another and fucking not see something. Just amazing. But I think it was in Vickers and I were doing the math. I think it was in 2005, the first time I was there.
Mm-hmm.
And it was in between popes, right? The other pope had died, so they hadn't elected the Nazi yet.
Mm-hmm.
So, so while we were there, it was like everyone was kind of like in anticipation, kind of hovering around outside the Vatican, like waiting to see if there was going to be smoke.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like this whole thing and this buzz around the place.
Yeah.
Waiting for this little fucking this one chimney in this really innocuous area of the roof of the Vatican.
Yeah.
Where the white smoke would come out. And they're like, oh yeah, there it is. The smoke could come out of there. It's like, okay, cool. I'm gonna go over here. It's like it was, but I remember distinctly being there for that. And then the second time we were there, I think the Nazi was still in.
Yeah.
But yeah, just fascinating place, the Vatican. For a visit, highly recommend doing it if you get the opportunity.
Yeah.
If you're going to go someplace in Europe, I would recommend going there.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind. My bucket list is getting shorter and shorter as I'm getting older and older because I realize there's less and less time to do things.
Well, you've never gotten to go, so and it's a very doable place to go.
Sure.
Yeah, it's a travel destination. It's tourist friendly. It's not going to be some place where you got to worry about getting your throat cut necessarily at each turn.
Yeah.
Lots of English speaking.
Always nice.
I mean, it's the euro, so you're dealing with that, but and it's Europe and it's the euro, so things are a little bit more expensive. But if you're going to go there, it's I had the benefit of getting paid to be there twice. So
Yeah.
Anytime I go there after that is going to be a bonus. So, and hopefully Kathy will want to go as well, which I'm sure she will. But yeah, anyway, rest in peace to the Pope. Go visit the Vatican.
Yeah. Now I'm curious, like, are there people like dunking on the Pope online? Like, fuck you, Pope, yeah!
Again, I would have to go online to see that.
Mm.
I've been so fucking busy. I don't have time to go online to look for shit like that. Only reason I even know the Pope died was because I got a pop-up on my phone ever so briefly that basically said Pope Francis's last words. I'm like, that's weird. That's weirdly phrased. Like, did they mean it like this is his last words? And then I stopped thinking about it. I drove into work. And then by the time I got into work, I saw that, when you open up your fucking computer attached to the Nippernet, it's like, here's your MSN news that you can't get away from. And it was on there.
Wonder what his last words were. Maybe it was like, hey, can someone roll me over so I can scratch my ass? It's been itching all day.
He had a stroke, apparently.
Oh, did he?
A cerebral stroke, yeah. So, yeah, that's 88. Type 2 diabetes, too. He had type 2 diabetes.
Oh, no shit.
So he must have ate well. I bet you he probably... He looked like the kind of guy who enjoyed a fucking jelly donut. Which is a weird thing to say.
Nothing wrong with that, though.
I know. I'm just...
I enjoy many jelly donuts.
Yes.
So.
I mean, fucking donuts are amazing. And if you live in Italy and you can pretty much... Yeah.
Well, and you live next to an Italian bakery that serves incredible donuts.
I know. The fact that this gluten-free thing prevents me from having the delicious, delicious donuts. Anyway.
All right. So let's get back on track here. So Pope, rest in peace. Yes. All right. We got some business to take care of.
He was indeed from Argentina.
Yes. Don't cry for him. And do we want to talk about Patreon real quick?
You should talk about Patreon.
All right. Well, we'd like to give a huge shout out to all of our current patrons: Frank Kalevich, Don Solsky, Helen Martin, Shotgun Mark, Nick from Sweet Studios, Scott and Kim from Used and Abused, Catherine Rennick, Tina Land, Wally Frogmore, my wonderful mother-in-law, Patricia Goodstein. She texted me last week, by the way, when I didn't say the wonderful mother-in-law. Kristen ratted me out, and she texted me mid-show.
See?
Lord Helmet Fire, The Orange and Fett Show, Carly Vickers, David Schmuck, Chantal from Pop My Culture, Kristen Roscom, Sterling Azier, Dragon Buddy, Frederick Martin, and Nicholas Schaefer. If you'd like to consider becoming a supporter, you can find us at patreon.com/thesidebarcantina. Thank you again to all of our listeners and supporters. You are the reason why we do this.
So the whole reason I was like stalling last week for getting the list of names was so I could do this with the ticker across the bottom.
Oh, shit.
Show the Patreon supporters.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah. But it won't let me do one like continuous one because there's a character limit, which is annoying.
Fuck you.
Yeah. So I'm trying to get you guys recognition because you're amazing.
Was that you and I that were talking about the new StreamYard alternative that's apparently just as good as StreamYard, if not better?
I think that was with Nick.
Okay. Disregard.
Yeah.
Anyway, we got any sidebar headlines?
Yes, we do. Luna Girl. Sidebar headlines from the office of Luna Girl. Go outside and look at the night sky this week. Probably not tonight. I think it's a little overcast tonight here in the Northeast. But tonight, the Lyrids meteor shower? Lyrids?
Lyrids?
Lyrids. Anyway, there's a meteor shower will light up the sky with 20 plus shooting stars per hour. Leonis?
Oh my God, let it go, man.
Well, I should know this. It's not making my brain like go cling, cling, cling.
Well,
it's more like it's going kunk, kunk, kunk.
Helmet Fire is saying Lyridis or Lyrids. Lyrids? I don't know. That does not help at all.
Lyrids. Okay. There's a meteor shower. On Tuesday and Wednesday, there's a chance for northern states to see the Aurora Borealis. The Aurora Borealis.
Mm-hmm.
In your kitchen. You don't know that Simpsons episode?
God, if I did, it's long gone.
Where it's Principal Skinner's he's stalling with the fucking superintendent. And he says that after the door opens and his kitchen's on fire, and Skinner says that it's the Aurora Borealis. And he goes, Aurora Borealis.
Nah.
No?
No.
OMG.
That penguin drowned a long time ago.
It's classic. It's a classic Simpsons scene. Anyway, the Aurora Borealis on Tuesday and Wednesday, which probably won't see Tuesday night because we'll be watching Andor Season 2 because it's not until 9 o'clock at night, motherfuckers. As solar flares continue to trend upward as the sun approaches its 26-year busy cycle. Then, on Friday morning, 30 minutes before sunrise, you will be greeted with a smiley face in the sky. The waning crescent moon will look like a smile with the planets Saturn and Venus as the eyes. Unplug for a bit and ground yourself in nature. You won't regret it.
Deep thoughts.
With Jack Handy.
Is that it?
That's it.
Oh, all right, cool. So we had this little thing this weekend. Well, we didn't have it, but Lucasfilm did.
It's a celebration.
Yes, they had Star Wars Celebration in Japan.
Right. Japan.
Yes. I must do what's right for Osha. Sorry, that may have come off as insensitive, but
or an impression of the guy from the show.
I think he's Korean though.
Yeah.
The
Koreans are going to be upset.
Yes.
Yeah, they don't like that. They don't like that when you
I would imagine the
mistake Koreans for Japanese.
I would imagine
and vice
the
versa.
Yeah, so I'm probably
So
on the
you're-
outs with both of them.
Both of them. Yeah, I would definitely.
Oh, well, what are you gonna do?
There are certain establishments that I would not go to now that I won't say out loud because then it would be making it worse.
Right.
Digging ourselves deeper, as they would say.
Anyway, so yeah, we got some interesting announcements at Star Wars Celebration overall. I gotta say though, for me, it was kind of a weaker celebration
I would
than
agree.
ones that we've seen in the past.
I would agree. For the hype and for the star power that was there,
Mhm.
I was actually kind of surprised at how benign it was
Yeah.
as far as like content. It would have been cool being there because of the stars that were there, and I'm sure that it was probably epic. I think I watched the Diego Luna panel with him and Alan Tudyk, and I think they had said something about like 126 different nationalities were represented. Like it was, I'm sure it was extremely well attended.
Oh yeah.
But as far as like releasing of content
Mhm.
and the wetting of our whistle as Star Wars fans,
Yeah.
there really wasn't a whole lot to get excited for.
Yeah. Not a ton. I mean, we'll get to some of the better stuff, but we got some little things like the new MetaQuest game. Is it a new game that's
Yeah, it looks like there's, from the advert that I saw, based on the link that you posted,
mhm.
it looks like there's 3 games. There's
Okay.
the one, the Vader game.
Yeah, Vader Immortal, that's been out for
Right.
a while.
So there's either an update to that, or
Okay.
the makers of that game made a continuation.
Sure.
And then there's a pod racing game, and then there was another game where it looked almost like walking through Galaxy's Edge, and like where you could be in shops and then you could have different weapons and fight different things. So actually, that of the 3 of them looked the most promising to me.
Yeah, though a racing game in VR, that might be
Well,
interesting.
so what they showed was a little disappointing to me because they showed it as a third person thing.
Oh.
They didn't actually show you what it looked like. The first person was you work on the speeder, but then it was all in third person view for the actual like the race.
Which you would think that's where you'd really want the first person view,
Right?
when you're racing, but I don't know, maybe it's too intense.
Maybe. I mean, dude, I'll tell you what, I have a couple different like World War II flying games for the MetaQuest.
Yeah.
And I have to take breaks after a certain period of time because I'll be doing so much aerobatic stuff that I'll find that I'll actually start having a physical reaction to it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, I need to take this off for a little while. And I don't, for whatever reason, I have to roll over top of and then dive at zeros when I'm attacking them in my Corsair. That's just how I fight. I don't know what it is.
Sure.
It's a highly successful dog fighting methodology that I employ. But it also requires me to be upside down a lot.
Yeah.
So, which I really, there's got to be something that I actually did connect. When did I do that? Or did I dream that? No, I did it with Lego Star Wars, where I did like it was like a VR thing where I did, because you could do this like desktop anywhere almost, where it logs into your desktop and then you can play like a Steam game
while in your VR. Okay.
So I played Lego Star Wars when we were doing the Lego Star Wars show.
Oh, okay.
I played Lego Star Wars through the VR headset.
Huh.
By going through my computer.
Right. Right.
through this and doing it Steam, and it actually worked pretty good.
Yeah.
Now I don't know how well it would work with like I think there's people out there that are doing that with Squadrons.
Oh.
I haven't tried that. I don't. If it lags at all, I'd be so pissed off. I'd fucking chuck the thing.
Yeah.
Like that to me would have to be zero latency.
Yeah.
Like I am flying a TIE fighter is hard enough. Like because when I get the pedals going with the controller,
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of moving.
Oh, I
going
would
on.
imagine. Yeah.
And if there was any lag at all, like I would just be aggravated.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I'm sure that's coming. There's got to be something in the near future where that level of putting the VR headset on to be able to do that.
Yeah.
I'm sure it exists now. It's just there's a price point that I'm not comfortable with yet.
Mm-hmm.
For not only for the software but for the hardware.
Yeah. All right. In addition to that, we got an announcement for a new season of the Young Jedi Adventures. That's kind of like irrelevant to us. Someday, if I have grandkids, that might be a relevant thing, but until then, that's never anything that's going to be on my radar.
Yeah, until somebody tells us like, hey, you need to watch episode blah 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 of the young thing because of this is going on, then I don't have any desire to watch it.
Yep, same. We got a bunch of Lego sets announced. They released or announced the K2SO set, which
Right.
looks pretty sweet. And I think that there was some other Lego stuff that was announced this week that I'm not seeing in this.
There was Lego, I think, is saving their big release for May the 4th.
Okay.
So we're going to see more Lego Star Wars stuff on May the 4th.
Okay.
Like this KTOSO, there was a Slave One
Mm-hmm.
was the other release that
Okay.
came out. I think it was just before Celebration actually. The Slave One. It's the UCS Slave One, so it's like the bigger model.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's Django Fett.
Oh, okay.
Django Fett version. So, but one of the things I was actually watching an independent review of it, and one of the things that they were talking about, they really liked the build. There's a lot of little Easter eggs there that were really nice, but there's still stickers. Like, so you still had a lot of stickers that you had to put on.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things for what you're paying, like this is a $300 Lego set.
Oof.
Like for $300, those pieces should be printed.
Right. And not have to do stickers.
And not have to do like these extra careful placing of stickers, because Lego stickers are not the kind of thing that you can put on multiple times. That is like a one time, like between heaven and earth, like that's like ever so gently put it on there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you could probably put heat on there and get it to come off a little bit, but it's never going to be the same.
No.
So you have to either get it on there just perfect the one time, or not put them on there at all and just be like, I'm just going to keep the sticker sheet in perpetuity and just be happy with the way it looks.
Yeah.
But for that price point, for something like that, for the UCS, I would want it to be printed.
Hell yeah.
But, other than that though, it's there's a lot of these little nuances in the build that make those UCS models like worth it, because while you're building it, you're finding all these like little things that you're putting together. It's just like, holy shit, that's buried in there. You'll never see it,
Mm-hmm.
but you'll know it's there because it was part of the build type thing.
Right.
And that's like, call it like black box as kind of the Black Series, right?
Mm-hmm.
So these black box or UCS Lego builds, there's lots of stuff like that where you're building something that's like there's these little Easter eggs that are hiding in these things that make it more fun.
That's cool. I noticed the K2SO has the Empire logo on a shoulder piece, so I'm curious if that's a sticker or if it's actually going to be embedded on the piece.
That's a good question. I'll have to look at. There's going to be reviews out, most likely, So I'll have to take a look at that.
Yeah. They announced some new DLC for that Star Wars Outlaws. I have no interest. I'm never going to play that game. I don't know about you.
It'll have to get cheap.
Yep.
If it gets cheap, I'll play it. Or again, somebody will have to tell me like, oh, you have, like, there's this thing, you have to play it.
Yeah.
And then I'll be like, okay. Or if there's inject relevant storyline here, like an Iden Versio type storyline.
Yeah.
Like that would compel me to play something like that. But otherwise, I'm good.
Yep.
That's $60 I can spend on Lego.
That's right. We got some Black Series figures announced, mostly Jedi Fallen Order. You got the frog outlaw guy,
right?
As part of the set, and then of course it comes with Cal and his droid and some other little dude.
Yeah, the BD one, it's like a different color.
Yeah, it's like blue.
Yeah, it's like a blue one.
Which makes sense because you can get your different skins and everything.
He's fully customized. I would like to. I would love to own another BD1 build, so that I could build him out in the color scheme that I have him.
In the game itself.
Yeah. Because right now the BD1 that I have, like I don't think I've ever brought him on the show, but he's he stands like this tall, and
he's Lego.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's solid Lego, and he stands on his own, like this tall, but it's all with the red markings and everything.
Okay.
So I'd love to get it where it would have the blue with the different ear cups and stuff like that. have those options.
Yeah, maybe someday a modder will post a build.
I'll tell you, I've been modding stuff myself.
That is true. I figure you've probably got the know-how at this point.
I'm not great, but I have imagination and I don't have spare time. I wish I had spare time.
I know, right? That's always the stopping point.
If I had enough time, I could definitely really create some good shit. But
yeah. So we got a Mandalorian and Grogu panel.
Yeah,
which was decent, I suppose. The big thing that came out of that was we got an exact release date for the Mandalorian and Grogu, which is May 22nd of next year, of 2026. Which I found this very interesting because what most people haven't noticed yet is that this comes out just 3 weeks after the next Avengers movie. The Avengers Doomsday, where they're bringing back Robert Downey Jr. and they're expecting this movie to make a boatload of money. And they're putting it just a few weeks away from Mandalorian and Grogu, which you would think Disney would want to separate those two a little bit more to kind of maximize profits. But what the fuck do I know?
Well, I don't know. Maybe they're trying to get people while they're in the theater. Like, hey,
True.
You're here watching the Avengers. Check out this kick-ass trailer for the fucking...
Which they're going to do that.
Yeah.
They're going to be playing Mandalorian trailers like fucking crazy before those movies.
Yeah, you're going to have fucking Grogu doing tricks and shit, with Skittles and silence your cell phones before the fucking Avengers movie starts.
So one thing that came out of the panel was they showed only the audience that was there live some footage from the movie itself, which, thanks to bootlegs, I actually got to watch. It was kind of a, shaky cam version, but from what I saw, it looked pretty sweet. And
this is going to it's going to look phenomenal. There's no doubt in my mind that it's going to look like what we want it to look like. It's not going to sound like Star Wars.
You don't think so? Because of no John Williams?
Because it's not John Williams.
Yeah.
I think the Mandalorian has its own sound.
Yeah.
And that's probably a good thing. One of the things that makes Star Wars so dependent, I guess, it's not the right word, but dependent's the only word I can think of.
Mm-hmm.
The theater is critical to watching Star Wars because of John Williams, because of the soundtrack, because of how big and how much it puts you into the movie.
Yeah.
We've gotten to what the Mandalorian soundtrack is, and I don't know how that translates to the big screen. I don't know if that same groove or vibe, will translate to the big screen in the same way.
Yeah. That's a valid concern, and unfortunately, we have no way of knowing until
it happens. Because I was one of those people that, like, when I was watching Rogue One, I had issues with the soundtrack.
Yeah.
When I first watched it, it took me out of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
It took me a while to get to a point where with Rogue One where I was like okay with the music.
Yeah.
And that's a personal thing. I'm going to have to get over that because unfortunately, heaven forbid, John Williams can't live forever. So at some point he's not going to be able to create music.
Yeah.
And it is what it is. Maybe the AI will have been created by then that could effectively, or even come a little bit close to what he did.
Yeah. Oh man, I wonder if Lucasfilm has already gotten onto that.
I'm
like
sure they
getting
have.
him to sign over the rights to the John Williams style so they can use them in AI.
I'm sure they have. I'll tell you, we can segue into the ILM. They did a little ILM trailer.
Yeah.
For the ILM things
For the new season.
Yeah, I've actually watched the first one, and I'm about halfway through the second one.
Okay.
For the new ILM stuff.
Yeah. Light and Magic.
Yeah.
Is the name of the show.
Yeah. Why don't just call it ILM?
I don't know.
ILM the Magic Years or some shit,
Yeah.
It's a continuation of what they were doing before.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're just talking about Phantom Menace, and there's some good stuff in there about there's actually some stuff in there that I think people haven't seen before. Not necessarily like footage wise, but just from a behind the scenes perspective, like focusing on here's the controversy surrounding Jar Jar, and then kind of the people around that decision, right? The people with George that were like, okay, here's principal photography, here's the casting, here's the guys that were working on the actual animation, here's how they made these decisions, here's how the actor factored into that. Like, and it's focused directly onto that. And then the second episode, it starts talking about after the blowback, the initial blowback from the fans and from the critics about the character, and then how that affected the actor.
Right.
So
Ahmed Best.
So I don't know. It's been poignant so far, and I love everything about what ILM does. Like,
oh yeah.
So I love seeing these kind of the behind the scenes things and how some of the stuff, just how this gets made. So yeah. So it's been interesting. So worthwhile to watch, and I'm sure that we'll get to a point where we're ready to do it for the show when some of this other stuff slows down.
Yeah, we're in an uptick right now of Star Wars stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so yeah, Light and Magic Season 2. We talked about that. Okay, so we got the new movie announcement. So there have been rumors floating around for quite a while now that Sean Levy was going to be making a Star Wars movie with Ryan Gosling as the lead.
Right.
And, these rumors have been swirling around for a while now. And they finally confirmed it. And the movie that they're making is Star Wars Starfighter, which they've already given that a release date of May of 2027. So 2 years from now. So, again, according to Lucasfilm, right now, we've got a Star Wars movie planned for next year and the year after. And the Starfighter takes place 5 years after the end of Rise of Skywalker. So we're in kind of new territory here. Yeah. We don't know what the galaxy looks like at this point. We don't know what characters are around, which is good. I think it's a good thing. Don't know much else about the story.
Right.
But I'm semi-hopeful that this is actually going to happen because they already said that starting production this fall. They already have an actor tied to it. They already have a director tied to it. Now, granted, they did that also with the Ray movie, and that has gone nowhere. So I'm pretty confident, though, that this one is actually going to get made. And Sean Levy is coming off of the success of Deadpool and Wolverine. So, you know that they're going to try to rush this into production to piggyback off of,
Right.
the $1 billion movie that he made for Marvel. So,
Yeah, I'll tell you, it's going to be interesting as we get closer to that, like trying to piece together what that story's going to be. We're going to get some. I'm sure it'll be a novel that'll come out. That's going to tease that a little bit.
yeah.
So I'm with you, cautiously optimistic.
Yeah.
Of what the possibilities are for this thing.
Mhm.
By bringing a bigger name into it, I don't know. I don't know if that makes it more legitimate or if just gives it further to fall if they do decide to cancel.
True. Yeah.
But I think it does bode well that it's like, hey, we're signing this guy to this. He stands to lose more if something happens to this project and it doesn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we are not bringing this person on to sully his reputation.
Sure.
Like, there has to be some sensitivity to that.
Yeah.
I would imagine. Like, it probably doesn't work that way. This is just how I would imagine it works.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's some actual, like, oh, well, we need to consider this person's what this could do to their career if we decide, arbitrarily to do something. Oh, you know what? You're right. We should definitely double down and rethink our actions. Like that would actually happen in this world today.
Never. So my hope is that this ends up being sort of a Top Gun type movie where Ryan Gosling's the hotshot star pilot, and
he's Val Kilmer, or is he Val Kilmer, or is he?
I figured he'd be Maverick.
Maverick.
Yeah, he'd have to be the Maverick in this movie.
Okay.
And maybe he's flying for the New Republic, or maybe this takes place completely away from the New Republic, and and off in its own fucking sector of the galaxy where all the shit that we've seen before isn't really affecting that area. Who knows?
I don't know. I smell new Lego potential though.
Oh God. Of course.
So sidebar to that, like if we think X-Wings, right?
Mm-hmm.
And let's just assume so I'm a TIE pilot guy, I'm a TIE fighter guy.
Yep.
Right? But there's only so many TIE fighters. Mm-hmm. And you may or may not have all of them. Sans maybe one or two. If you were that person that has all of them, or sans one or two,
mm-hmm.
and you come across an X-Wing that was like kind of blows your hair back a little bit, like the one I had the other day.
Yeah.
Then I start looking at other X-Wings. I'm like, man, some of these are actually pretty good.
Yeah.
So then we're watching it. I'm rewatching Andor for the show to get ready for the show, and they have an overshot of Saw Gerrera in his like hideout,
mm-hmm.
and there's two X-Wings sitting there, and they're like olive drab, like paint.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
Right?
Yeah.
You've seen a shot where it's like sunken in. There's the two X-Wings that are like sitting there.
Yeah,
and they have like the way the paint is across the top, where it's kind of like across the top, and I'm like. I might need to make that. I might need to make that those X-Wings.
Yeah. Now, my theory is I don't think this is even going to involve X-Wings. I think whatever starship this guy's piloting, it's going to be different. I think they're going to have to then just put in normal little X-Wings. Do that with your Rogue Squadron movie that's never going to get made. But something tells me that this is going to be. I mean, they have to do something new for this new movie. As opposed to just going back to the X-Wing well.
Like what?
Anything. I mean, obviously they're going to create something brand new for this. So it's just a matter of what do they create. And again, the story, what's that about? But something tells me that the Starfighter is not going to be an X-Wing.
But what? What would it be?
I don't know.
Like, come on, you're putting this idea in my head. Now give me some fucking.
Well, I don't know. I don't know what's
put
going
some
on.
fertilizer on this seed. Let's go.
I'm just saying. I don't think that this is going to be about a squadron of X-Wings. I think it's going to be about something else. Not necessarily like Empire stuff, but
going to be the last Starfighter, except with Ryan Gosling and set in Star Wars.
No. Definitely not. Wouldn't make sense in that universe.
No video game
No.
association. Okay.
Yeah.
I could though. I mean, it could be that way.
Could be, but I mean, they already have fantastic stuff like that in the galaxy where they don't need, a video game to call the aliens out.
Sure, but they may be on a planet that is isolated and they don't know. There could be some sort of shield around them, and they don't have any idea what's on the other side.
Okay, so Star Wars: The Last Starfighter. All right. That's where you're going with this. Oh, maybe they're looking, or maybe this is a tie into the real world where, they're just looking at some guy who's playing TIE Fighter on his computer with his son in his lap, and, he just fucking kills, everything and just blows the game away. And they're like, oh, fuck, we got to get this guy as our next TIE pilot.
That's right. This guy right here.
So it goes from the real world into the Star Wars universe.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is. Hence Ryan Gosling, they got to make that connection. Like a face we recognize in the real world, and now he's going to move into Star Wars.
Mm-hmm. Doesn't he have like a lazy eye?
I don't think so.
I think he does.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that because I've only ever seen like one of his movies. Kristen made me watch The Notebook.
Notebook?
Yeah. I don't think I've seen another thing that he's been
I don't
in.
know what else he's been in. I'm with you, man. Like, his name gets dropped a lot. I don't know what else he's been in either.
I didn't see the Barbie movie.
Neither have I.
I didn't see the Blade Runner movie that he was in.
No, but Blade Runner people, I think, say that it's good.
Yeah, that's fine. Just I've never seen him in anything besides The Notebook.
Yeah, which is I'm in the same boat.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what that says about us. Like, yes, we only know Ryan Gosling from The Notebook.
Yeah, from a 20-something-year-old movie now.
Right.
Because that was like 2004 or some shit.
Yeah, a tearjerker of a movie.
Yeah. Or a movie you just have to sit through because you're being made to watch it.
No. It's okay, Jason. You can have emotions. It's all right.
I don't know. I don't like how they feel on me.
Well, most of the time I agree with you.
So anyway, Starfighter, something to follow.
It's not for 2 years. It's too early for me to even like start getting my cockles in a twist about it.
Mm-hmm.
That's not how that saying goes.
Or your nuts in a twist. I don't know.
Something in it. Something with cockles. Anyway,
those are parts of your heart.
Cockles?
Yeah. Right? Isn't that a like part of like one of the valves in your heart or something?
I have no idea.
Yeah. I think so.
Fascinating.
Chat, help us out.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
Speaking of chat, I've been impressed by Brady did a bunch of AI renderings of ATSW family people.
Which I don't know how I missed that. And I was looking for it after you mentioned it, and I still don't have it. So I don't know.
I can show you it afterwards, or maybe Luna Girl can post it somewhere, because you're not. Are you in the Discord server?
Yeah.
Post it in Discord server then. But regardless, like, it made me think about, like, I have a handful of ideas to do for some other stuff for logos, and I'm kind of the mechanics of actually doing the drawing and having to go into Illustrator and have the time to go through the stuff. I'm like, well, let me see what this comes up with.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to Chat GPT and I said, all right, I want to use this picture, use the trophy out of this picture, and I wanted to say this, this, and this.
Mm-hmm.
And I definitely like locked it up a couple times. Like it kept telling me like it's going to be great. Just give it another minute. I'm
Yeah.
like, okay. 20 minutes later, I'm like, okay, what are you held up on? Like, well, I'm having trouble with this. I'm like, okay, well, don't do that. Take that out. Now do this.
Yeah.
Okay, it's going to be great. Like it's literally telling me this. It's like, oh, it's going to be clean. It's going to be great. Nothing.
Yeah.
And finally, I had to be like, all right, let's give up on that. Let's start from the beginning. And then when I told it that, like, it's interesting to have this like back and forth with the AI.
Yeah.
Because it's obviously input driven, and its responses to the inputs are
Sure.
pretty. It's mechanical, but it's very intuitive.
Yeah, and its ability to do things is getting better and better.
Right.
Like I'm seeing all kinds of crazy good AI stuff.
Yeah, the rendering
days.
it's doing is really good.
Yeah.
So, where was I going with that?
Trophy.
Well, no, I did that. But what were you saying that made me start thinking about that?
Oh God,
Shit.
you're expecting me to go back a couple of minutes.
Oh.
Well, we were talking about celebration shit. Starfighter, not getting excited.
It's gone.
I don't know.
It's gone.
All right.
Fuck. We're talking about chat. Something in the chat. Then I said chat GPT.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't either. Fuck.
So getting back to Celebration, they announced a new season of Rebuild the Galaxy,
Yes.
which we had just talked about not too
Yes.
long ago.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, and they're using some of the stranger builds,
Right. The
like the big heads and.
where are you? There they are.
Oh yeah.
You got
Of course, nobody can see what the fuck you're pointing at.
Mando and Grogu back there.
Yeah,
See?
they can't see.
Way back there.
It's
See?
it's so small,
It's
so small.
My penis so smooth.
Where was that during the Japan part?
My penis so smooth.
Look. There are boundaries. There
All
are.
right,
there
that's
are
where you draw
boundaries.
the line.
This is where I draw the line.
My penis so smooth.
It's fine to direct it at us white males,
Yeah.
but not to
My penis so smooth.
Yeah.
not to the general populace. that
Okay.
This was directed at.
My penis so smooth.
Sure.
My penis so smooth.
Oh my God.
My penis. My penis. My penis so smooth.
We're just here to amuse ourselves, guys. That's why we're here. We got an official announcement about the game that I was talking about last week, the
Yes.
Zero Company.
Yes.
So we got a little bit of extra gameplay footage, not a whole lot. Most of it was just dialogue and cut scenes, but seems promising. Not coming out until 2026. I was expecting it to be like later this year, but apparently not.
They fuck you in the drive-through.
Mm-hmm. We had an Ahsoka panel
Mm-hmm.
because they're in the middle of making Ahsoka season 2, and we got the reveal of the guy who's replacing
Balin.
Yeah. So we got the new actor in there. They showed him in costume and all that, and I'm like, that's great and all, but God, I hope he's got the acting chops to live up to that.
So I will tell you that I watched. Did you watch the panel?
I did not.
So there's Dave Filoni got kind of deep into the decision to recast
Yeah.
and like emotional about it,
Right.
and then finding the right guy to make sure that they were getting the spirit of what
Ray Stevenson.
Ray Stevenson was giving that character.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be something. Ray Stevenson, obviously, he's not doing an impression of Ray Stevenson. We're going to get somebody in there that's going to be playing that character
Yeah.
in his way to portray what the character should be, based on Ray Stevenson's vision and Dave Filoni's vision.
Yeah.
But it's not going to be like him trying to emulate Ray Stevenson, if that makes sense.
Sure. Yeah.
And there was a lot of emotion about it. I appreciated the fact that Filoni was talking about it in a way that it was obviously a guy who respected the character, obviously, because he had a part in creating it,
Mm.
and then how important it was to make sure they did it right
Yeah.
going forward, which is great.
Yeah. And it
My
basically, or go ahead.
No, I was gonna say my concerns with Ahsoka have nothing to do with even that.
Yeah.
It's what we talked about ad nauseum with where they've decided to go with the story that bothers me.
Yeah. Like in the other galaxy or with the Thrawn and the Dathomir.
Why is that still up?
What's that? I don't know. Clearly you didn't take it off.
Apparently not.
Yeah. So this was an interesting announcement, which I completely forgot to bring this up to Kristen. They've announced a new scenario for the Millennium Falcon Smuggler's ride at Disney World, because up to this point, it's only been one scenario. It's been the exact same scenario every time. You're stealing fucking the fuel.
Right. The coaxium?
Coaxium, yes. You're stealing a bunch of coaxium, blah, blah, blah. Now they're adding a new scenario to that, inspired by Mandalorian and Grogu. So it's interesting that they can actually do that, because I thought that it was like locked in. I thought, you had the one scenario and that was it. But apparently they are able to change it. So that opens up all kinds of possibilities. It just has to be the Millennium Falcon every time.
Yeah, well, it's a simulator, right? So you're loading up the sim like you would in any other, like, it's not a fixed base sim, but it's a partial motion simulator, I guess, because it's not a full motion simulator.
No,
you're not going like past certain degrees.
Yeah, you're not going. Ooh.
Yeah, like you're not able to simulate like a category D simulator.
Yeah,
but it's motion enough where you could probably load up new software and say, okay, here's these inputs to go and fucking do it. Mm-hmm. The same way that like you see these motherfuckers that apparently either have really, really understanding wives or make so much money that they can have their wives pissed off at them and still do what they want to do.
Mm-hmm.
But build these little simulators in their dens, like where they have, okay, here's my fucking TIE fighter simulator. That's almost full motion,
right?
On the fucking hydraulics to fucking be in there, like, dude.
Is that envy I hear in your voice?
Yes. Yes. Piles of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't, would I ever get out of said chair? I don't know that I would.
Well, you'd have to pay the electric bill so you could run it. So you got to at least go to work a little bit.
Solar, or I'd fucking run an extension cord over to the neighbor's house or something. Steal an RTG from the fucking NASA. Like, there'd be ways.
All right.
Like, it would. I'd figure it the fuck out.
Right.
Or I'd be some software tester. Be like, all right, put some new software in the sim. I'll test it for you.
There you go.
Here, I'll test your fucking F-18 FMC. Just load it up in here and I'll, and meanwhile, while that's loading, I'm going to fly to fucking TIE fighters.
Oh, this thing really moves.
Yeah.
All right. We got some more talk about the Visions season 3. They're also going to be doing some extended stories. I vaguely remember the Ninth Jedi story that they did in one of the first seasons of Visions. Well, apparently they're expanding on that, and they're continuing that story with one of the characters.
Ninth Jedi.
Yeah.
I'd have to rewatch it. Because the only ones I really remember rewatching were, well, obviously I've rewatched Ronin a bunch of times.
Yeah.
So that's it. Those are ones I really remember.
So as it gets closer, maybe we'll go back and rewatch. But for now, just there is more Vision stuff on the way. So keep your ears open for that.
I'm here for it.
Yep. And that's all the major highlights that I wanted to hit for the Celebration recap.
Yeah. So I talked about the Dave Filoni panel that I saw.
Mm-hmm.
I watched the Diego Luna, K2SO, Alan Tudyk. They were on stage for a panel.
Yeah. I do know our girl Adria Arjona was there as well.
Yeah, I didn't see that panel, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I saw like some TikTok thing that had her. Like it was, I think it was in that link you sent.
Yeah.
Really nothing like cosmic out of the Andor panel.
Yeah, because they're not going to want to give away too much.
Yeah. Although apparently, if you know Spanish, he said something in Spanish that would have given away something. But I mean, honestly, you have such a freedom of delivery when you know what the outcome is.
Right.
Right. We know they're going right into fucking Rogue One.
Yep.
So they know how this ends. So it's just really a matter of like, okay, now we just make a page turner to get us to that point.
Mm-hmm.
So he it seems like everyone that's involved with it is just over the moon about how not only how it finished out, but like they're I don't know how to describe it, but I get the general sensation that it's not just oh yeah, it was good and we all had good time on the set, blah blah blah. It was more like, yeah, this was fucking amazing, and we all knew that this was the last one because it has to be the last one. So it's like you pour everything into that.
Yeah.
It's like the last show that you do if you do a stage performance, right? The Thursday night show is like the worst one. And then, Friday is you're fucking nervous wreck. Saturday is decent. And then Sunday is the one where you have the most fun and you put all the effort into it. Well, this is the Sunday show.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know why I went to that reference. But those of you who have done any stage performing know what I'm talking about. So my takeaway from that was that the interaction between Cassian and K2 is going to pay off nicely.
Yeah, and it makes me wonder how much they're going to be on screen together. Because, like, is he going to meet K2SO early in the season?
I don't know.
Going to meet him later? Are they going to follow the story that was already set up in the comic books of how he met K2SO? Because that's going to be big.
Yeah.
To see if they stick with that. Because remember, it was him and two other people were sent on some mission, right? And I think the other two got killed. And that's where he met K2SO and where he reprogrammed him. So I'm curious if they're going to go with that same that whole same storyline when he meets him in this.
You would hope so. You would hope it's not torpedoing, the comic book canon.
Yeah, because that's the only thing that I wouldn't say concerns me, but I'm curious. I'm curious where they're going to go with this. But
and the last panel that I saw, just to wrap that up, is I watched the Favreau Sigourney Weaver panel.
Oh yeah, how was that?
It was fine. I mean, Sigourney Weaver just seemed like a little overwhelmed by Star Wars. Like, for somebody that's probably been to a lot of these things as a sci-fi,
yeah, because it's
goddess.
Because think about it, she's been kind of running parallel with Star Wars her whole career, with the Alien movies,
right,
and then like Ghostbusters, Galaxy Quest. She's been kind of running alongside Star Wars, never crossing paths,
yep,
but she's always kind of been there with it.
Yeah, so she talked a little bit about how like character acting with Grogu.
Mm-hmm.
And like the deviousness of Grogu and kind of the interaction there.
Yeah, that was one of the scenes from that footage that they showed. She was at a table talking to Mando and Grogu, and Grogu like tried to steal her like fucking snack or something, and she had to put her hand down, like, stop it,
nice,
kind of thing.
Nice. I have to find that footage.
Yeah, it gets taken down within minutes of it popping up on YouTube, but people keep re-uploading it. So
I'm willing to bet it's on Reddit somewhere.
Yeah. Oh my God, we completely forgot about the mall show. Why wasn't the mall show in that fucking recap? Oh my god. Anyway, so yeah, that was another big thing that they announced at Celebration was the Darth Maul show that's coming out next year.
Oh yeah, fuck, duh.
Yeah. So yeah, they're doing one that continues his story like after Clone Wars,
Yes.
and how he, what I'm assuming is, gets into the whole crime business where
Yeah.
he becomes part of, was it Black Sun?
Yes.
Whichever crime syndicate he got involved in,
Yeah, I think Black Sun.
that we got the hints
right?
of in Solo.
Mhm.
So yeah, so we're gonna get some missing pieces of the Maul story.
Yeah, we didn't get a trailer or anything, did we?
Again, they showed footage to just the people in person.
Mm.
And I've heard that there's been bootleg stuff of that uploaded, but I haven't seen it yet.
We'll probably, honestly, we'll probably. What do? They wait a few weeks and then they release
Crimson
that?
Dawn, thank you, Bronco Fett.
Yes, thank you, chat, for saving us yet again.
Yeah.
Black Sun was one of them.
Oh yeah, that's one of the crime syndicates.
Yeah,
But it's
It's
hard to
not
keep them all
his.
straight.
right. Yeah,
Um,
all those crime guys, doing the crime thing.
mm-hmm. So yeah, that's gonna be big. And Sam Witwer is back voicing Maul, which is great.
Nobody else could do it,
No,
honestly.
not even Ray Park, because it wasn't his voice in
Right, exactly.
episode 1.
It's got to be Sam Witwer.
Yeah. So yeah, it should be good. Again, that's not coming out until next year. Sad face.
Yeah.
So
Oh, I mean, we have a couple things to hold us over.
yeah, we got some stuff kind of in the immediate future,
Yeah.
sort of. But yeah, we'll see. And hello to Dork Wars in the chat, as well as Jackson Messer, who said, "All praise Tony Gilroy, bow down and rejoice." So, but yeah, that's the wrap up of Celebration.
Yeah.
So,
Like I said, it wasn't like nothing earth shattering. No, sadly, no first person shooter.
yeah,
Uh,
which apparently there is one in the works right now, but we'll see.
I don't know. It's tough. Like, I hate the idea of everything being like, oh, in 2026, it's like, oh, it's not that far away. But in my brain, fucking, oh God, sidebar. We had this kid today,
Mhm.
and we're talking about something, and I was like, yeah, in 2002 when I was in Korea, and he's like, yeah, I was not even born yet. I'm like, I'm sorry?
In 2002,
Yes.
this kid wasn't born yet.
Right.
Jesus Christ.
And I'm like, huh? And the other, this major that was sitting in there is like, oh, yeah, I was in 7th grade. The major.
Oh my God.
I'm like, I want to go throw up. I just want to go throw up right now. Like,
Yeah.
oh my God, I'm so old. It's so hard to not feel like a 90-year-old man when you're surrounded by people that are in their mid-20s.
Yeah.
It's so fucking hard.
Mm-hmm. No, I feel you. I've got a lot of youngsters at work as well.
I just can't even tell a story like, oh, because in my mind, like, yeah, 2002 was a long time ago.
Yeah.
But like 2013, that was yesterday.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't. That was 12 years ago, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Like, fuck you and fuck the horse you rode in on,
Yeah.
because fucking 12 years ago.
Yeah, I can't even talk about stuff from the 90s with any of these people.
Oh, no. Forget it. They have no concept of what it was.
Right.
Like, yeah, it's so old.
While you're thinking about that,
I don't want to think about it anymore.
the next celebration is in 2 years, in April of 2027, and it's in Anaheim, California. And Kristen and I are talking about making a legitimate attempt to go to this one.
Yeah, maybe I can drag Kathy out there.
Yeah.
Excuse to go out west.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe go see Disney.
Yeah, that's what we were talking
West
about.
Coast Disney.
Yeah, maybe see some family, go to Disney, and then cap it off with
With some
celebration. So that's something we're thinking about. Bronco
Well,
Fett says he's going to LA.
Yeah, so I would Bald Eagle drop in Discord. I gotta open Discord. Dude, sidebarring to that sidebar
Uh-huh.
because bald eagles are fucking cool. Vickers in his fucking pond had this bald eagle come down and fucking decimate a guy named Egret
Oh wow.
right in front of him.
Damn.
Like circle of life shit. Like blam right fucking in front of him.
Yeah.
Ah, dude. That's it's fucking
So anyway,
Mother Nature. Where's my Discord link?
Celebration 2027. If anybody else out there is planning on trying to go, let us know, because like I said, Kristen and I are like legitimately talking about, booking a hotel as early as possible. Yeah, I don't know how the tickets go for this kind of thing. It's probably like tickets go on sale at noon on, October 15th. And you have to be one of the first people in line and get it within the first minute, or they sell out.
Potentially, but I'd be willing to bet that there's probably some sort of package
Yeah, there is.
My penis so smooth.
that where it's like, okay, I want to go to Celebration and have a stay package.
At Disneyland?
Well, I don't know if Disney would host it, but like somebody, like some advantageous travel agent would be like, okay, we're going to do this package where we're going to secure entry into Celebration as a travel sponsor or something like that, and then we'll have a stay package for somewhere. I'm like, I guarantee you there's ways to be able to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if it's in LA, because it's going to be a huge venue.
Yeah.
Wherever it's at. Because I know they're going to be expecting huge numbers.
Mm-hmm.
There will be a way.
Yeah.
And we will find it.
Yeah, one of my big bucket lists, we were talking about bucket lists earlier, is to get to a Celebration. So
yeah,
this is a big chance. So I'm at my peak earning power right now.
Yeah, right.
So it's pretty much now or never. So
I would agree. Yeah, you have to get Kristen talking to Kathy.
Okay.
About that.
Yeah.
Like that has to go. There has to be some cross org on that.
Yeah.
Cross org working. Why do I have message requests?
I don't know.
I'm not going to do that. That seems dangerous.
Yeah, where it's like some hot lady going, "Hey, how are you?" Or
It's not even a
"Hey,
picture.
sexy, what are you up to?"
It looks like an alien in the picture.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, I wasn't born yesterday there. Anyway, are we ready to get into our weeks?
Yep.
All right. Are you okay over there?
I'm looking at the Bald Eagle content.
Okay. Never mind that we got a show going on or anything, but that's
do your thing.
Oh my god. So this week, I didn't do a whole lot. I decided to dust off my Nintendo Switch and play it for a little while because, I think I was telling you how I've just been bored in the evenings lately, and I've just kind of like meandered around and felt like I had nothing to do, and a lot of it was weather related. But I decided to dust off my old Switch and start playing it, and I was playing it all fucking weekend, playing Pokemon Sword of all games.
Nice.
So yeah, I found something new to entertain myself, and we found out within the last week through rumors that there is a remaster coming of my favorite video game of all time, The Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion.
Really?
Yes, they're doing a remaster that's supposed to drop this week. I guess it's been worked on for a while. They're dropping a trailer tomorrow, and the rumor has it that it's going to be out later this week, and it's going to be a Game Pass game, a day one Game Pass game. So
oh, shit.
Yeah, so I'm really excited about that, and that may end up sucking up a lot of my time coming up because, like I said, Oblivion was my absolute all-time favorite video game. I put 330 hours into my main save file.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was a lot.
And this is going to be like a reskin of the same.
That's what
engine.
That's what I'm guessing, but we really haven't gotten much in the way of details. We've gotten a couple of leaked screenshots that make the graphics look absolutely incredible compared to what they were in.
Oh, can you imagine on the Xbox X? Just like,
Yeah, good stuff. So yeah, that's coming out this week, and I'm super stoked. There was rumor that it was supposed to come out today, but that didn't happen. They made the announcement this morning that tomorrow is the trailer and the official reveal.
okay.
So I'll be watching that on my lunch break tomorrow. But that's pretty much it. Just little video game news.
So we were having a conversation at work a week or so ago
Mhm.
about, I guess there's a new Switch that's going to be coming out that has like more capability.
Yep, the Switch 2 is coming out in June.
So I'm guessing it's trying to compete with your Steam Deck.
Yeah, because it's bigger, beefier, Steam Deck size.
Right. So where do you fall on? Well, you are a collector of gaming systems.
Yes.
So would you update your Steam or update your
Switch.
Just-
Not right away. So, and the only thing that would make me want to do that is if there's like some killer game that comes out that like everybody is praising, is like, oh, the best game ever, blah, blah, blah. Then, I'd start considering it. But right now, the only big game that they've got that they talked about at launch is a new Mario Kart game, which I'm sure it's great. And Mario Kart has a massive following, but it's never really been something I've been that obsessed with. So I can wait until another game comes out. Plus, I like to collect special editions of consoles. I'll wait until a console special edition comes out that I can.
That's right, Chris. Didn't you get the Spider-Man
yeah,
PS5?
The Spider-Man PS5 that came out a year and a half ago, probably. I got the Darth Vader PS4 when that one came out.
Right.
I've got the Nintendo Switch that I have right now is the Legend of Zelda themed. So, I always get the themed consoles for the most part. The Xbox, they don't do that kind of stuff. So, well, I think they did.
They have.
I think they
because
did.
I have a Xbox One that's like the Halo Xbox One, but it's just camo. It's not like it's anything else on it.
But they don't do stuff like that very often.
Right.
Not as often as some of the other consoles do. But anyway, nothing yet has come out that's making me think that I'm ready to upgrade to a Switch 2. And I want to see how the backward compatibility works because they say, allegedly, it's going to be fully backwards compatible with the Switch 1, but I want to hear some people's thoughts before.
Nintendo's notoriously bad with that.
Yeah, because they say it's backward compatible, and then all of a sudden they kind of waver a little bit and they're like, well, some stuff might not work.
Because I'm here. I really want to invest in. I want to invest in a Steam Deck.
Yeah,
I think that's where I would get the most bang for my buck.
I'd say so.
As far as like a traveling console type thing.
Because you can play like Jedi Fallen Order on there. You can play your Squadrons.
Right.
Like all those games are compatible.
I wouldn't play Squadrons. Like, come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. Come on, buddy.
I'm just saying, if you're looking for something on the go.
Right. I won't play Squadrons on the fucking Xbox.
No, it's got to be on the PC with your
PC
controls.
with the fucking. I gotta have my rudder pedals and fucking my stick control with fucking throttle and everything else. It's got. I have standards, but that doesn't mean those other games wouldn't be amazing on there because I don't want to always carry around the fucking PC to have a gaming experience out of a hotel room. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
So it's just it's an investment. And I don't want like the Switch 2 to come out Switch 2 to come out. It's like, oh yeah, this is something that is going to be worth it. And it's like, no, it doesn't check off enough boxes for me personally because I don't play enough Nintendo games.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not a Zelda guy. I honestly, if Nintendo got rid of everything except for fucking Super Mario Brothers and Excitebike, I'd be fine.
Okay.
I would be able to live my life with just those and Tetris, obviously.
Yeah.
Obviously. Game Boy version.
I was playing the original Tetris on an emulator over the weekend also.
Were you?
Yeah, I was trying to beat a level 9 height 5. It was tough. It was my finger skills are not what they used to be.
Dude.
Ladies.
My penis. My penis. My penis is so smooth. My penis is so smooth.
Anyway.
My finger game is good.
Oh, okay. Well, good.
My penis is so smooth.
Are you done?
37
All right. So do you have anything for your week?
I
or
do.
should we-
I've so I was what was I looking at? I was watching something.
midget porn.
No.
Oh.
Um
I'm sorry, little people porn.
no also. No, there was something they were talking about it was something on YouTube. I can't remember, and I should have. This was the thing I was trying to remember for my week.
All right. So it's a thing you saw on YouTube that you don't remember. Got it.
Right. But it was about Star Wars.
Okay. All right.
We're getting closer. But it was about the novelization of A New Hope.
Oh.
And it had something. It was talking about how the novelization of New Hope had like this different story element to it.
Right.
In the original novelization.
Because it was probably based on an earlier draft of the script.
Yeah, and there was God, what the hell was I watching? Was it in the ILM thing? I don't think so. Are you talking to yourself? Yes, so you are. Anyway, so as I was watching that, I'm like, well, I've already in my possession.
Oh shit.
I have these two. I have Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. Those are both first edition copies, paperbacks of the novelizations.
Yeah. Well, I want to look at.
And I got one of those from Rick.
Uh-huh.
I think it was from his dad's library. I love the Kmart sticker on the front of it too. It's fucking phenomenal. So I was like, oh man, let me look for this New Hope one because I don't think I've read it. I don't think I've read it as like the novelization. I have like a leather bound copy of the novelizations,
Uh-huh.
but I don't know that it's the same as these versions.
Right, because there have been different iterations.
Right. So I went online to look, and the original copy of this, like the first version of this from 1978,
Yeah.
they're like hundreds of dollars, like to get the version 1.0 copy of this. And so I'm like, well, I'm not spending that much money on a book that I'm going to read, kick around in my backpack, and then put back on a bookshelf so that my grandchildren have it. So this is the 20th printing of this particular novelization.
Uh-huh.
But it's based on the first edition, which was printed in December of 1976. So this is the copyright 1976 version of
Oh, dang.
A New Hope.
Nice.
So,
Nice.
and it's in great shape, and I got it for like I think $5.
Uh-huh.
And
Oh, it's even got like a
yeah, it's got little photo inserts.
yeah, look at that.
So I'm looking forward to reading that. I'll probably read that. Probably won't tonight because I'm been banging through a migraine today. But I'll read that through that this week and give you a report when we go online next. But yeah, I was curious just to see what the differences are.
Yeah.
We know we've covered novelizations, for the show, especially for sequel trilogy stuff, and it just made me like that much more curious. And plus, it's just we don't do this anymore, right? We don't have like these paperback novelizations, like
Not really.
because even the size is different. Like they're all Del Rey books, but like if you look at Jedi's actually a little bit smaller.
Mm-hmm.
Like the actual physical book is smaller.
Right.
Like it's weird. Like they're more and more pocket sized. But anyway, my collection is complete as far as the novelizations for that. And I think I have the prequels. I have the novelization for the prequels. I
Yeah.
think. I know I have the sequel trilogy. But if I don't have the prequels, I will.
Okay.
Just because I want to have I have a thing for books. Like we've talked about this before. Like there's just something about the printed page, much like the medium and having possession of the medium.
Mm.
Like you're not. That's mine. Right. That's mine. Right.
Yeah. So I'm looking at something here. This is why I like this kind of stuff, is because typically these novelizations are based on early versions of the script that get changed. But one line from Darth Vader: "You are beaten. It is useless to resist. You will join me, or you will join Obi-Wan in death." A little bit different
Nice.
than what ended up being the final dialogue.
A little bit darker.
Yeah.
So yeah, I had the little note for the guy. I was going to give him a shout out, and he I'm sure is not a listener, and I gave him no indication that I did a Star Wars podcast, so it would have been fruitless anyway. But I was this guy's first eBay sale.
Oh,
he left me a little note. He's like, "You're my first eBay sale."
That's cool.
Wow, very neat.
Hopefully, you left him feedback.
I did.
Okay.
I left nice feedback. He packaged it well, and it's in good shape.
Excellent.
So, yeah, I was stoked about that. I have in the notes like this mind fuck. So it's talking about like, just like age shit.
Mm-hmm.
Age, not AIDS. Then it kind of came out weird. Age, like as in aged.
Yes.
Like cheese, not like cheese, like wine.
I feel like we're aging like cheese.
We are. I feel like I'm definitely, and not the good kind either.
Yeah.
Like
I'm smellier. I'm withering.
although it could be like American cheese, because American cheese really isn't cheese.
Yeah, it never goes bad.
Right. It's just there. It is. How old's that?
Doesn't matter.
Probably from the 90s. Oh, maybe important. Hang on.
Are you getting a call from home?
Uh,
Is this the point in the show where Dave gets a call from a family member?
No. Apparently a Netflix thing was needed, and the dog tore up the fucking couch. Like, look at the devastation that Holly left on the couch.
Oh my god.
She just kicked all the fucking. We got a new couch, and
Dogs having none of that?
well,
Fuck your couch.
yeah,
Buy another one, you rich motherfuckers.
yeah. She is not. When there's somebody outside, she's not subtle about letting them know that, hey, this is my fucking house. Get the fuck out of here.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if it's somebody leaving something on the porch.
Oh,
So
yeah.
we got Amazon today, and when Amazon shows up and they take their picture and it updates the Alexas,
Mm-hmm.
and the Alexa makes a sound
Oh.
when you get a package.
Uh-huh.
When she hears that sound,
Like she knows there's somebody outside.
nuclear devastation. Like she is just like, wah! And it could be like Alexa does this fucking nonsense where it'll make that same sound for, hey, there's a deal on something that's on your shopping list or some shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like not actually for delivery, but she'll go nuts because it's that fucking sound. I'm like, all right, Holly, just calm down. Just like no, there's nobody's here. Nobody's invaded the yard. Just relax. It's okay.
Mm-hmm.
She is the most docile dog on the planet. Like honestly.
Mm-hmm.
But she's a bigger dog.
Yeah.
And if you are encountering her for the first time and she's like not interested in having you around,
Mm-hmm.
she can be intimidating. Which the pizza guys really don't like. They're very intimidated by her.
Yeah.
because she hits the glass, like she hits the glass, like bang, 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 like she's actively trying to fucking get the glass out of the pane, right? So she's got there's this dog, this giant fucking dog with, and it's got the brindle almost like a pit bull, but I mean she looks like a lab.
Yeah.
And she's like banging on the fucking glass. And the guys try to deliver food. Just leave it on the step and get the fuck out of here, man.
Yeah.
But then if you open the door and you're around her for 5 minutes, she's like, oh, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
And she goes away.
Or she even gets scared. Remember she was scared when Kristen and I were there?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's like she gets anxious.
Yeah.
I think it's more of an anxiety thing.
Okay.
And she just, after a little bit and she gets used to you.
Yeah.
She doesn't like change.
Right.
I
can understand that.
We just went out to Penn State and visited Kate, and it was a quick out and back, which is terrible on my body these days.
Yeah.
But we're bringing Holly on these trips because we stay at Hilton's, and Hilton's they're pet friendly.
Yeah.
So we bring her with us because we don't want her to be home by herself.
Sure.
Right. And we don't want to saddle her with somebody else, and kenneling is scary.
Yeah.
And she gets real anxious, and we just, this is our child at this point, right? This is the toddler. So, we're spoiler. So she goes with us. And where was I going with that? Oh, no, the anxiety. So like being in a new place, like even though we've okay, you've been in a car before for this long, like, you've been to certain places before, like the hotel room, we're almost always going to be try and stay in the same room, but the hotel's going to be different.
Sure.
Like it's just a lot to get used to. So it takes her a bit, and she gets anxious, but she's not, what she doesn't do is she doesn't lash out. Right. She'll just all right, I'm not cool. Where are my people?
Mm-hmm.
All right. She just gets real tentative. So I don't know. It's more fun traveling with her though. Just livens it up, I guess.
Sure.
And plus she got to, play with Kate's dogs, with Theo and Holly, or Theo and Sammy rather, while we were out there. So that was cool. But yeah, anyway, that was pretty much it. I forgot the other thing I was going to say. But yeah, my dog is more interesting than that. So that's, I would rather talk about that anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got a new couch, and when she gets up on the couch and she's trying to get through the window, she's kicking off the fucking couch cushions because to get these out of the way, I'm trying to get in the window.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And then you come home and there's just couch everywhere. Right? She's not tearing it apart.
Right.
It's just the
She's
cushions
just knocking them off of the couch.
Yeah. And this is why we got there's one of the things that I was like, we have to buy a couch that has fully removable cushions.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many couches now, they have the cushions that are attached.
Yeah.
Especially in the back.
Yeah.
And our leather love seat had that, and she was doing her thing because that love seat used to be upstairs by the window, and she tore it.
Oh.
So what we ended up doing, Kathy did it. I helped a little bit. I don't know how I helped. I remember doing something. Anyway, she basically took those cushions and made them into pillows.
Pillows.
Pillows. So they would come off, but it's nice new. They freely come off the couch now, so it's all good. Anyway,
all right.
That's it. That's all. I'm sure there was others, but I'm.
That's fine because it's already after 6:30 and we still haven't gotten to the main topic yet.
Yeah, well, I mean, celebration was important to get to.
It was. So, but now that we're done with all of that, are you ready to get to the main topic?
Yes.
All right, so let's talk some Andor season 1.
Right. This is a season 1 recap.
Yes.
Right. So we're not going we're not doing line by line for every fucking show.
No.
This is a recap.
Yeah. And so you mentioned to me, why don't you tell everybody else like what you watched to get ready for this?
So initially I watched the 14-minute, 15-minute Disney Plus recap,
Yeah.
which was pretty good.
Yeah, it was decent.
Uh
Not very thorough.
no, but it was a good like kind of glossing over
Yeah.
of what was happening with the story. So I was watching that, so I'm like, all right, let me watch the last episode.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the episode 12.
Yeah.
So I watched episode 12, and when I finished episode 12, I'm like, man, they talked about the manifesto, so I kind of wanted to go back and watch the episode with the manifesto, and I ended up going back. I watched episode 10,
Mm-hmm.
and episode 10 is the one where they're escaping from the prison.
One way out.
Yeah, one way out, and they're escaping from the prison, and that's when we get the Luthen's speech.
Yeah, about what he sacrificed.
Right. So I watched that, and then watched episode 11, then episode 12.
Mm-hmm.
And then after I hit episode 12 again, I went back and watched it was one of the it was the episode where Bix's boyfriend gives him up.
Yeah. It was like the third episode.
Yeah, something like that. I watched that randomly, and I can't remember why. But anyway, so I watched all of those to get ready for today. So I feel like the overall, I've got a good handle on the overall site picture.
Yeah, I watched a couple of YouTube videos, recap videos. I watched the one on Disney Plus. That was okay. I watched a couple other good ones. And then I just ended up watching the very first episode and the very last episode of season 1. Because I just didn't have time to. I was too busy catching Pokemon. I didn't have time to go back and watch a whole bunch of
I feel you.
Episodes.
I was so tired after driving. Like just sitting there watching the shows was like perfect. The perfect amount of fucking attention and activity that I needed to be doing.
Yeah. But if you need like a really good, thorough recap after you watch the rest of the show here, there's some good YouTube channels that have like a good 30-minute video that like fully recaps the whole season and hits, beat by beat.
Yeah.
So, you can definitely check those out if you're still needing to catch up before tomorrow.
Indeed.
So I like to break this down into 4 parts because that's kind of what the Andor seasons are. They're like parts of the overall story, but they're all so like self-contained stories in a way.
Right.
And the first one is the whole Morlana 1 incident. It kicks off when Cassian's looking for his sister, which, by the way, do you think they are going to address that at all in season 2?
Yeah.
Cassian's sister.
I do.
Okay.
I do. I think based on what they talked about during Celebration and they talked. I think Diego Luna talked about it. The things that he has to lose, right? What he's driven by is the things that he stands to lose.
Mm-hmm.
And when he said that, it made me think of not only Bix, but his sister.
Yeah.
And still trying to find his sister.
Which, come to find out, Bix is his sister. In typical Star Wars fashion.
That would be weird.
Yeah.
That would be really weird.
Mm-hmm. That's okay. So, and yeah, he's looking for her in this pretty sleazy area of Morlana 1.
Right.
Where, whorehouses and,
right.
Establishing
right away that Andor is not your atypical fucking Star Wars.
Yeah, because it's very dark. Like, it's actually just, the lighting is very dark in this place. And it's just super seedy looking. And you got the people in the windows doing weird shit. And yeah, it's like you're in like the fucking bowels of, I don't know.
Amsterdam or something.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
The steps in Amsterdam.
Yeah, exactly.
Steps or stairs?
Either way.
Either way.
Yeah. And while he's in there, there's the two cops that are in there that get pissed off because he's getting priority service from these ladies in the brothel.
Right.
They come up to him and ask him. So they follow him out, and then we get Cassian's first of many murders throughout the show. And I guess the way he killed the first guy was he just like headbutted him in the fucking face, and somehow he like fell back and like whacked his head on the fucking concrete or something. But
I mean,
that first headbutt fucking killed that dude, essentially.
Yeah, I mean, maybe was that the old wives' tale where if you
the
hit
nose, yeah,
and pushed it into your brain or some shit.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They did that in the movie The Last Boy Scout. Do you remember that movie? Bruce Willis and the one guy from In Living Color, Damon
Wayans.
Was it Damon Wayans? Yeah, I think it was.
Or was it Marlon Wayans?
No, it was definitely not Marlon. Yeah, it was Damon Wayans. And yeah, he did that in that movie where some guy was fucking with him and he just and it killed him.
Yeah.
So if Hollywood did it, then it's got to be true.
It's got to be true.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, Cassian ends up killing both guards because when he noticed the other one was dead, he's like, "Well, fuck, I got to kill this guy because
the guy's like a blithering idiot. Like, all right, yeah, hey, like it was an accident.
Yeah,
I'm not going to say anything.
Yeah, he's like, we'll go in together. We'll say it was an accident and blah blah blah. And he's like, no, bink.
This is way easier to deal with than you turncoat on me, so fuck off.
Yeah. And then the rest of this part is we're getting a lot of the exposition part out of the way with Bix and her connection to the buyer, better known as Luthen. We get to know all of Cassian's friends, his mom, and they're all on Ferrix, which is the name of that planet. Yeah, so
if you can't find it in Ferrix, it can't be found.
Did they say that in? Mm-hmm. Okay, I didn't realize. Well, it's like a free trading.
The salesman, and when Luthen's going into that first for the buy, there's a salesperson that is in the trailer or in the trolley with them as they're flying in. He kind of moves across. He's talking to him.
Okay, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. And it struck me as odd because I didn't take Ferrix as being a place that had like everything.
Mm-hmm.
It had some industrial stuff. It had dirt and bricks.
Yeah.
But
well, I guess the big thing was it was a free trade planet or a free trade system where, they weren't really under the tight boot of the Empire and people were allowed to come and go. And
I gotcha.
Before
Cassian. So that's what it's alluding to. It's alluding to the free trade, not to like the actual, like you can get shit here.
Right.
Like here's the farmer's market of anything that you can possibly think of is going
right.
here. Or maybe it is. Maybe there's like through the underground or whatever. Maybe they have everything.
That is true.
Interesting.
Yeah. But yeah, this is where we get all of the drama between Cassian and Bix's new boyfriend, who's super jealous of Cassian.
Right.
Where one of the scenes that I'll never forget is her stopping at the boyfriend's house for a booty call one night.
Yep.
I think that's the night before he fucking Judased Cassian.
Well, no, it was the same night.
Oh, okay.
Because he saw Bix and Cassian at the bar.
Uh-huh.
And she basically like turned Cassian away, but he didn't see that, the boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
All he saw was them two together. Takes a couple shots and was like, I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna call the cops right now. 1-800 I'm a fucking stool pigeon. And he calls him and you're like, okay, I got your guy. His name is Diego Luna. No, wait, no, wait. It's Inigo Montoya.
Oh, that would have been great. And all this time too, we've got Cyril Karn, who is who's the cop, who's kind of in charge of the the unit that those two dead cops were from.
Right.
And, he's intent on finding the killer. Whereas his boss was just like, look, we just fucking sweep it under the rug.
Yeah.
Just say that they were just out and they got themselves accidentally killed farther away from this area that, you allegedly found them in. Let's say we found them over here where they were rescuing a fucking cat out of a tree or some shit.
Right.
Because we don't want it to be known that our guys were in the fucking brothel when they're not supposed to be.
Exactly. They weren't exactly someplace where it's like, oh yeah, this is where cops are supposed to be in uniform. Because they weren't undercover.
Yeah.
They were definitely like, hey, they're there drinking and getting fucking throwing, what is it? Sucking down Darjeeling.
Yeah.
No, that's I'm thinking of it.
That's Toy Story.
That's Toy Story. Never mind.
Either way.
What would they throw? Credits. Throwing credits at fucking, like, the coins. Throwing credit coins at the fucking strippers.
Oh, okay.
Just been like, yeah, there you go. Take that, bitch. Ah. Oh, you're hurting me.
Yeah. And so yeah, you got him doing the investigating, and this whole part one kind of culminates when, they find out where Cassian was the murderer, where he's from, and then they load up and go over to Ferrex.
Right, because the whole key to that was he mentioned to the fucking the one stripper,
The brothel lady, yeah.
He mentioned that he was looking for his sister and they were from this planet.
Yeah, Canary.
And that's the so close to Canary.
I know.
So close. That was the indicator that differentiated him from anyone else.
Sure.
So that when he got back to Ferrex and Mom catches him, and says, "Oh yeah, here's the police report, and I know it's you because who else is from this fucking planet that nothing else is from? So what did you do? Like, did you kill somebody?
Yeah,
I mean, what the fuck?"
And that's the great thing too, is like when he's going through in this first part and he's talking to all his friends and stuff, he's like, I need help. I need you to do this cover story. They're all like, what the fuck did you do this time?
Right.
So it's not like he hasn't pulled some bullshit like this before.
Right.
They're all like, fuck, what is it now, Cassian? Would you stop with this shit?
But and they're still friends with him. So they must have benefited some kind of way from the relationship.
Yeah. I mean, he doesn't fucking work apparently. He just goes out and gets in trouble all the time.
Right.
Sells shit on the black market to this this mysterious buyer.
Well, I mean, it's not his buyer.
Right.
He just happened to steal that shit. Oh my god. Monkey fucking a football here.
Yep. So, and yeah, the whole thing culminates when Luthen shows up on Ferrex as the cops are rolling in, and the big shootout, and Luthen and Cassian get away. And I think this was the third episode was when they said shit for the first time in Star Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was the
fat guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were positioned in such a way to like try and intercept the guy, and then he got by him somehow, I think is what happened. I forget. I didn't rewatch that episode, but I'm pretty sure that's when it was. It was like because he was like on a balcony or something. It was like shit.
Yeah, which I always thought was funny. So they get away, and now Luthen starts setting Andor on the path of the heist, which is the second part of the season. That's when they drop him on Aldhani, and that's where he gets mixed up with that other, Luthen's other people, which include. What's her name? Val, one of the lesbians. Cinta, the other lesbian.
Yes.
Yeah, Cinta, I think is her name.
Let's call them Scissor 1 and Scissor 2.
Right, and then the other guys whose name we don't give a shit about. But one of them's the Manifesto guy.
Right. His name is Nemec.
Yeah. And all while this is going on, they're getting ready for this big heist. This is when the ISB starts getting involved in what's been going on Ferrex and all that.
Right.
So
Because Homeboy brought Hit Squad to Ferrex to get Andor, and it went so bad.
mhm.
Now ISB stepped in, be like, all right, you clowns are fucking fired.
Yeah, they shit canned all of them.
And so now we're going to run this place.
Yeah.
And so now you have fucking boots on the ground.
Mm-hmm. So now the free trade city of Ferrex is now under Imperial control. And nobody's too happy about that. Yet again, they all help Cassian in the end, even though he brought the fucking Imperials to...
He must
the
give
pla-
good hand jobs or something. I don't...
I guess, man. I don't know.
Something.
But, yeah, so they're involved. This is when we're introduced to Deidre Miro. The
Oh, and Bix's boyfriend gets killed.
Oh, yeah. He got killed in episode
And she got
3.
arrested.
Yes.
Shot him right in the chest. It was fucking glorious.
Yeah.
Fuck that stool pigeon.
Yeah, got what he deserved.
He did.
Yeah. So
Snitches get stitches.
that's right. Wouldn't that be funny? Just a line in one of the Star Wars movies. Snitches get stitches.
Just Luke lighting off the fucking saber.
Mm-hmm. And the whole heist scenario was pretty good, where they basically stole a whole garrison's worth of pay. Like, it was, I think they said it was like hundreds of thousands of credits.
Yeah, it was interesting. There was good TIE fighter shit in it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially at the end when they're flying through that weird meteor storm, the Eye they called
Right.
it. Which that was one of the best scenes in the whole fucking show.
The visuals were amazing in that episode.
Yeah.
There was some other back and forth. I mean, you're starting to see stuff with the Mon Mothma that's starting to
Oh, yeah.
happen in this block of episodes.
Yeah, because she she's been funding Luthen's operation, and she's realizing now that the Empire is tightening their grip a little bit, and they've got her in their sights.
Yep.
So she can't easily move money as well as she did before under the guise of charities and whatnot.
Right. And we see Luthen as what his cover story is
Mhm.
as this pawnbroker.
Yeah. It's like, oh, hello. And
Right.
he's like,
who's the most non-threatening person in this non-threatening job.
Yep.
Of course he's collecting weapons. Like, why wouldn't he be? Because he's a collector and he sells them to other people.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So it's innocuous, has reasons to be places. It's a good cover.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
This is too where we're watching Andor, and this portion of it for the heist
Mm-hmm.
is the Dirty Dozen style of Andor.
Yeah. Not quite Ocean's 11, but
Right.
yeah.
So you're getting, okay, here's this brand of it. Like, it seems like each section of it is a little bit different,
Oh, yeah.
in its presentation.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still dark. It still has like that edge to it.
Yeah.
And it gets edgier as you go along.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because there's still to me, there's still moments in this, like when they're in the woods and they're camping and they're bickering and shit like that because this guy's an outsider. Meh.
Yeah, he's getting paid.
And then, meh. Like, oh, he's this necklace and meh. And then when the guy's like, all right, I'm gonna take half and you take half, and Inigo Montoya's like, no, I'm not, and
Yeah.
shoots him in the fucking chest.
Yep. Murder.
Yeah, more murder. So there's all these little side quest things, but as we roll into this next sequence, you have Cassian going back with money.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, all right, I have credits. I can take my mother, and we can get the fuck out of here.
Right.
I'm gonna sprinkle some crack on him and get the fuck out of here.
Right. Only problem is Mom doesn't want to go.
Right. Mom's an activist.
Yeah.
She's like, world's going to hell in a handbasket. I can do something about it. I ain't going.
Yep.
Which, no, fucking just
go, man. Just go. You all right?
yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, she's not going to go, and he gets butthurt about it, and then he fucking rolls out,
Mm-hmm.
and then the droid's really upset by it.
Oh yeah, B2, BD1.
No, BD1's
Oh, so this one's B2.
B2, I think.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's fine. His rolling trash can is fine. It's a fine droid.
I like him. I always liked his dialogue and just the way the droid was.
Your droid, like you're leaving again, or Eeyore or fucking Snuffleupagus. Sick bird.
Right.
Give me some smack.
Good reference. So there was something else I was going to say during the heist, and I totally lost it. But yeah, the heist finishes. He's got money, so he decides, well, if these fuckers don't want to come with me, then I'm just going to go off to the beach.
Right.
And, fuck some random whore and...
Right. Some random octopus face.
Yeah.
Which is kind of weird.
She probably gives great head.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
I mean, why else would you?
To say the least. I mean, obviously to get credits and secure your next location, I guess. I don't know.
I suppose.
Why'd you hide your fucking money and shit in the shower?
Right.
It just seemed like a weird hiding place.
Well, and doesn't he go back after he gets out of the prison and his money's still there?
Oh, maybe. I don't know.
I feel like that happened.
Maybe that thing can't get wet or something. Or I mean,
My penis is so smooth.
maybe he can't either, but you know what I mean? It's like, it just seemed like a weird spot for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, he gets rolled up by not K2SO. So this is like, hey, look, it's a fucking, it might be K2SO. No, it's not.
It's just definitely not.
It's just some fucking Imperial droid
Yeah,
that's gonna fuck him up.
Yeah, identified him as an able-bodied worker and is like, oh, you're under arrest for looking at me wrong.
Right. We are scooping you up for reasons.
Yep. And that's how he gets a 6-year prison sentence.
Right.
To the Narkina 5 world, which this is the whole prison sequence, which I think most people agree that this is probably one of the better parts of the whole season,
because this starts the Great Escape portion of Andor.
Mm-hmm.
And like there is a level of just the word I'm it's right here. It's just very ethereal, like this entire sequence, like to me it's a little bit like Andor trying to convince Andy Serkis that, what's his name? What's the character's name? Oh
God, I can't remember.
Anyway, trying to convince Andy Serkis that this shit's fucked up. We gotta figure out how to get out of here. Blah blah blah. And dude's like, no, I got this many fucking days left.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck off. Right? You're not gonna fuck this up for me.
Yeah. Until they find out.
Right.
That nobody leaves.
Right.
Essentially.
And the sign language between the cell blocks and the things that were happening, it was all very. It had just a realistic element to it, like getting on program. Did it give you that Limnadia type feel, like as you were kind of being marched around? And like, all right, get on program.
Oh yeah,
like you're grabbing the person in front of you and you're shuffling along with your dung and urine can to fucking go dump out. You're at the fucking at the tube. Yeah, exactly. it had those feelings of they did it really well.
Yeah.
They did it really well. And it was like it had this like brightness to it because like, hey, you're in a workshop, right?
Right.
This is a no FOD, like you're in a
Yeah, very sanitized.
right. This is a workshop. Nobody's like we're not getting grease and all that other shit everywhere. You're putting these parts together. There's a process for it.
Mhm.
And if you can't handle it, we're going to turn you into food or something, whatever.
Well, they shocked the shit out of him for the
Right. They got to do
team
something
that gets last.
right. And they got to do something with the bodies. I mean,
Yeah. Well, I don't think they kill them. They just shock the shit out of them at the end of the day.
they got to do something.
Yeah.
They're gonna do something with the bodies. they got to feed. They got to eat something.
Well, yeah, they get the goop that comes from their
Right.
beds,
Right.
and the winning table gets flavor.
Right. Soylent Green.
So that's what they do. Okay.
Soylent Green is people.
Oh my god.
Anyway, that's a reference that kids today don't get
No, definitely not
at all.
So yeah, the whole prison break was fucking phenomenal. Just that.
Yeah, the
that
build
whole
up
sequence. Yeah, the build up and the desperation.
Yeah, it really was getting you to a point where it's like, oh my god, like this crescendo of when they actually pull the thing off.
Mm-hmm.
Even Andor going into the bathroom to bust open the fucking pipes for the sink.
Yeah.
To initiate the floor shorting out and all that other stuff. It's like even the music builds up to it. It was super well done.
Yeah.
It made the episodes pay off.
Oh yeah.
Every one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Every one of them fucking paid off.
And we get 2 good speeches in this episode because you said this was the same one where Luthen gives his speech.
Episode 10 is when you get the Luthen speech.
Yeah, and of course Andy Serkis also has a great speech as he's transmitting over the whole cell.
He does.
Or the whole prison.
And I didn't transcribe that one.
But you did transcribe the Luthen one? Yeah.
So the key to the Luthen one, if you don't pick it up, you find out that Lonnie Zhang is the ISB agent.
Yeah.
That is on the inside.
It's one of Luthen's guys.
All right. And what's interesting is like the field craft that's going on with, all right, you're getting in an elevator and you're going into like, one of the layers of wherever they are, and gets into an elevator, probably punches in a code for it to start moving, and then grabs a earpiece that's hidden. So this is still like everything is still hands off. So even if you're being followed or something like that, and you're like the field craft, I thought was very clever.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And then, so they start talking about like, okay, Luthen's like, hey, how's your kid? Like, oh, you're a new father. And Lonnie's like, that's not fair. That you know everything about me and I don't know anything about you.
Yeah.
So he reveals that, hey, there's this op that's going to go down at the ISB they're going to roll this dude, but he's already like, they know who he is. He's already going to be killed and blah, blah, blah. He basically give up the whole thing. And Luthen's like, well, it's going to have to happen to protect you.
Yeah.
Like that's going to be, he puts the burden of that event. He says it in a way that's like, I'm protecting you, but at the same time, he's also putting the burden of those lives on him.
Yeah.
Because it's like, yeah, those 30 people are going to die, but it's on you because I'm protecting you.
Right.
I'm sacrificing those 30 lives to protect you.
Yeah, because they're worth to keep,
to keep
him.
that source.
Yeah.
And he does the same thing with Saw Gerrera later.
Yeah.
Like, he uses that same point of leverage. And then, so Lonnie at the end feels like he's being abused and used, which he is. And that's when he says it starts with my sacrifice. It means nothing to you, does it? And Luthen says, I think of you constantly, and I do. Your investment to the rebellion is epic. A double life, every day a performance. The stress of that, we need heroes, Lonnie, and here you are. And he's kind of build him up.
Yeah.
And Lonnie says, what do you sacrifice? And then Luthen, calm, kindness, kinship, love. I've given up all chance at inner peace. I've made my mind a sunless place. I share my dreams with ghosts. I wake up every day doing an equation I wrote 15 years ago. Okay, so where are we in time right now?
Well, this is 5 years BBY because it
Okay.
said it when I watched the first episode. They mentioned it in there in the opening titles. So we're talking essentially 15 years after Revenge of the Sith.
Okay.
Because it's supposedly 19 to 20 years between the two.
So this is Luthen is basically saying that, like, from the beginning of the Empire, he's been starting this.
Yes.
So, equation I wrote 15 years ago, from which there's only one conclusion: I'm damned for what I do. My anger, my ego, my unwillingness to yield, my eagerness to fight—they've set me on a path for which there is no escape. I yearn to be a savior against injustice without contemplating the cost, and by the time I looked down, there was no longer any ground beneath my feet. What is my sacrifice? I'm condemned to use the tools of my enemy to defeat them. I burn my decency for someone else's future. I burn my life to make a sunrise that I know I'll never see. And the ego that started this fight will never have a mirror or an audience or the light of gratitude. So what do I sacrifice? Everything.
Yeah. Damn good speech.
Yeah. There's parts of that are just so, they're so, like, poetic to the profession of arms in general, for, like, just what you sacrifice internally in a profession of arms.
Yeah.
That strikes me. Aside from the things that are very specific, like the 15 years ago, whatever, but like those other pieces about yearning to be the savior against injustice without contemplating the cost. And by the time I look down, there's no longer any ground beneath my feet.
Yeah. Of course, my favorite line, I think, was, he's fighting for a sunrise that he'll never see.
Right.
He's doing all this. He's sacrificed all of this, and he's probably never going to see the fruits of his labor.
Right.
This will probably kill him long before
the
Empire is defeated.
Honestly, which makes me believe that he's not going to live through very many episodes of season 2.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got to be dead by the end of season 2 for sure. But yeah, it'll probably happen halfway, 3/4 of the way through, maybe. So, speaking of which, do you think we're ever going to get his backstory, Luthen's? Or do you think they'll leave that a mystery?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, it would definitely. It might already be out there and we just don't know it.
Well, I know there's a lot of theories. Like, people think that he might be a former Jedi.
I don't believe that.
No, that one seems a little too far-fetched.
I want that ship, though.
Right.
I mean, like, the capability of that ship, it has, like, the interaction with the computer in that ship is almost like if you took what was it, L1, with that ended up incorporating itself into the Falcon. So now, like, the Falcon
L3.
L3.
Yeah.
So now you have this, like, weird conglomeration of what the personality of the computer is.
Yeah.
But you don't hear, the computer doesn't have a voice.
Sure. Yeah.
Whereas this one does. And so you basically droid, that's the entire ship.
Okay.
And it's fascinating to me. Like, why don't we see more of that?
Yeah.
I just had a concurrent thought, but it's not. We'll save that for another time.
All right. So
Yeah.
yeah,
That would take us into a sidebar section that I don't want to get started on.
right. We don't have time for that. And then we move into the final part, which I just label this as the funeral because Marva dies.
Right.
And everybody feels like, okay, this is what's going to get Cassian to come back to Ferrix because
Right.
at this point, Luthen wants him dead because he's a loose string because, after he did the heist with them, he's like, fuck it, I'm out.
Right.
Take your money. I'm
But he
done.
knows who Luthen is. And
Right.
And if you're not part of the fucking team, you can't know who Luthen is.
Yeah, so Luthen and the lesbians are on Ferrix looking for Cassian to kill him.
Right.
The fucking ISB is there, obviously looking for him. The Empire's got a presence there. So everybody's in town. Cyril Karn comes back in town because he's obsessed with Deidre Muro at this point.
Right.
And he's also still obsessed with finding Cassian.
Right. And he left his sergeant, or his sergeant had somebody that was still on the planet that talked to him that, while he was working at a smelter, apparently.
Yeah.
And smelters cause interference on the phone. Who knew?
Yeah, I know, right?
Why would you call from there?
Yeah.
But
maybe call him after work or something.
Yeah. And then everyone's basically gathering for this one event.
Yeah.
That culminates in episode 12.
Yep. And the whole funeral march, we talked about it when we talked about this episode the first time, but I fucking loved that so much as they're playing the instruments as they're slowly walking through, and then they start picking up at the end, and then we get the hologram of Marva, and she, gives her whole speech.
Right. And what I picked up more this time watching it was the fact that, because you kind of like, why is the Empire letting this go for so long?
Right, because they did.
And I realized watching it this time that they had Deidre was like actively searching for where Andor was.
Yeah.
So if they had just started with all the commotion, then the chaos, it would have like covered up them being able to actually like effectively search.
Mm-hmm.
So while that was happening, he was like, all right, we're stalling. And he actually says it. Like, what are we doing? It's like, well, we're wasting time.
Yeah.
And when I heard that, I thought, like, well, why are you wasting time? Like, but no, they're doing it deliberetely until the point where he finally is like, this is, no, we're not doing this anymore. And then he finally goes over, tries to cover the thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then he throws over the fucking droid trash can, and all hell breaks loose.
Yeah, as soon as he tosses him over, then that's when Homeboy kicks him right in the fucking chest and just
kicks him, fucking throws the body around like some fucking WWE shit happening.
Oh yeah. Yeah, all hell fucking breaks loose at this point. That kid's got those homemade fucking grenades that he's throwing.
Yeah. Yeah, you see the jihadi workshop, which by the way, in an effort to be Disney sensitive, would you have somebody that is of an ethnicity that would be closely related to people that actively jihad,
so
to throw pipe bombs into crowded streets?
Does that actor look Middle Eastern?
He has a look.
Okay.
It's
hard to tell.
Just Middle Eastern that,
Yeah.
these situations happen. I mean, we've been plenty of places in the world where
Could be Irish.
it could be Irish. Could very well be Irish. But that dude was busy off in a corner getting plastered.
Right.
But yeah, it struck me like some of the camera angles today. Like wait a minute, I've seen this. Every time I've seen this image, it has been in a movie portraying this person as somebody who's participating in a jihad.
Yeah.
And maybe that was deliberate.
Maybe.
Or maybe I'm
But
just...
then what are they saying when...
All right. Or maybe I'm just because I have a particular background, it's set that way for me. But I definitely watched it this time. I'm like, this feels inappropriate. Like, you should have just had some fucking blonde broad throw it, and then it'd just be, nobody would think.
Yeah, give it to Val. Let that lesbian throw it.
Well, she was busy running like the fucking Terminator, like going into the clouds and shit.
Yeah, and her run was weird. Like,
It was a weird run.
yeah, it was very strange.
No, you know what she was running like? It was like Forrest Gump. Because her torso was like straight up and down.
Yeah.
Like, what? Must just felt like running.
Yeah, because like her one girl wasn't giving it up, so
Yeah, she just felt like running. Jenny, do we need to take this with us?
Yep. And of course, Cassian saves Bix. We didn't even talk about how they tortured Bix. Like put the headphones on her with the baby's dying or whatever.
Y'all can't talk when you need all the answers. Y'all can't talk when you need all the answers. Y'all can't talk when you need all the answers.
What the fuck?
Remember that from the camp? You didn't get that one?
Oh, what was it again?
Y'all can't talk, but we need all the answers. Y'all can't talk, but we need all the answers.
I don't think they did that one for me.
Yeah, I had that one
Yeah.
because that one was underlaid by the.
Oh yeah, we had that one. Yeah.
Y'all can't talk, but you need all the answers. And then lots of stuff about Jane Fonda.
Oh yeah.
All the things about Jane Fonda.
All right, but we digress. So as part of the catch up, let's see where everybody's at this point going into season 2, because Cyril Karn, he rescued Deidre, right, and now she's like, oh, I guess I should thank you. So they're like face to face right there, about to kiss,
right.
So that's where we left them. They're on good terms now because he saved her. Well, I would think so.
I'm pretty sure that she's catatonic in that
True.
scene. She looked catatonic.
Yeah.
She looked like
maybe you got some PTSD going on. But so yeah, we got those two that are still alive, and who knows where they're going from here. Cassian rescues Bix. On the ship, it's Bix, his friend Brasso, the terrorist kid, and the B2 droid.
Why do I regret now identifying that child as a terrorist?
Hey, you started this, so
well, I mean, he did throw the bomb, so
yeah. So they're like, all right, we're gonna get out of here on this ship. And Cassian's gonna find us someday. And then Cassian goes to Luthen, and he's like, hey, fucking kill me or take me in.
Right.
You know?
Surprises Luthen on his own ship.
Yeah. Where he could have just as easily killed Luthen because
he pulled some Batman shit. That was like some Batman shit.
Right.
Like, how the fuck did he get there? Nobody knows.
Harvey Dent. Can we trust him? Where is he? So yeah, his crew of friends are off. God knows where they're going to end up. Cassian is with Luthen. They're now part of the rebellion.
Right.
We know the lesbians are still alive because I saw them in the trailer for Andor season 2.
Yeah. Well, I have no reason to believe that they weren't.
Yeah. So, you know, that's kind of where everybody is at this point.
And Mon Mothma, she's...
Oh, yeah.
So she's going to be fully in bed probably with this banker.
Yeah.
Like, marrying off her daughter.
Right. To this guy who's kind of a scumbag.
Yeah.
Kind of not on the up and up.
So, wow, that 15... I just made did the mental math with the... Like, so her daughter is...
Probably 15.
Yeah,
because of the book.
She got knocked up at the end of the book, and that was right when the fucking Emperor was like, "It left me scarred."
Yeah. Yeah, so it's all coming together.
No, it goes like this.
Right. So, yeah, and one thing I did notice doing the research and watching some more recaps and everything, the book really has some nice ties. The Mask of Fear has some really good nice ties to Andor.
So it's a trilogy, right?
Yeah. And the next one's coming out in February of next year.
What a pain in the ass.
Yeah. So I don't know how much linkage we're going to get to Andor season 2 with that.
You said linkage.
Linkage, yeah. But yeah, like the whole explanation about her and the husband, Mon Mothma and her husband, in the book makes their relationship in the show make that much more sense,
Yeah.
because they're in kind of a loveless marriage, but every once in a while they'll, that sparkle will flare
Right.
and then it'll die down again.
Yep. Just randomly decides she's gonna fuck him after this traumatic event, and then she's like, "Why did I do that?"
Yeah.
Like, "Ah, shit, I'm pregnant. Fuck."
Yep. So yeah, we're running short on time, so we should probably end it there. I'm so looking forward to this next season, especially after doing all these recaps, because it had been a while since I'd watched anything Andor, and now that I've gone back, watched a couple episodes, watched these recaps, I'm like, oh god, I can't wait.
Yeah. It sucks we gotta wait till 9:00 tomorrow, but
Yeah, which means realistically, I'm probably not going to watch it until Wednesday.
I don't know. I might watch at least one episode tomorrow. I don't know how long each episode's going to be.
Well, the season 1, they were typically anywhere from 35 to an hour.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how tomorrow goes. If I had put in a full day of work like I did today, I'm going to be too tired.
Yeah.
Okay, really cute.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck me.
Well, on that note, why don't we close this up? You got any reads for us?
Of course I do.
All right.
Well,
Well,
Luna Girl does all this hard work.
lay it on us.
I'm going to do the reads. If I wish we had time, because I would so do it like Bix's boyfriend. Like that's the character name, by the way. If anyone has any requests to do it, that's Bix's boyfriend.
And what exactly does he sound like?
It sounds like it's not just drunk on the phone.
Okay, gotcha.
Just drunk on the phone. Hang on. I think I'm gonna tell you. But we're not doing that because we don't have time.
Yep.
But for ATSW Family Happenings on Wednesday, ATSW The Escape Pod will be discussing Andor Season 2. Go figure.
Yeah.
And they'll have probably watched.
I don't know. They're on Wednesday, right?
Yeah.
So are they going to stay up late or get up early to watch?
Those guys are so dedicated that I'm willing to bet that they'll have watched all 3.
Yeah.
I'll take the over on that. Brady's been exploring AI picture creating. 3 of them have been playing video games. Oh, the 3 of them have been playing video games. I bet they talk about all kinds of stuff. Join Don Della Snooch, Brady Big Lovin', and Dragon Buddy in the live chat at 19:05 Central 5 Eastern Daylight Time on the YouTube, and check out the Discord channel for our caricatures, AI generated caricatures that Brady did.
Yeah.
They're really good. They're so good, in fact, that Jason's actually taller. What the fuck was that?
Was that me?
I hope so, because
Yeah. All right. Continue.
like I'm waiting for a flight attendant announcement right now. Like,
ladies and gentlemen, please fasten your seatbelts.
We've
got some turbulence
ahead. From the flight deck, ladies and gentlemen, we've got some rough air ahead. So if you want to go ahead and fasten your seatbelts, and yeah, it should be over shortly. Anyway, I remember fucking how ignorant of the fucking fasten seatbelt sign those motherfuckers were in the jet.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it was disgusting.
It was so fucking annoying.
Yeah. You kind of hope they get bounced just to be like, told you so.
How many? So I know I've been bounced around pretty good in that jet.
Yeah, same.
Like I was trying. We were talking the other day about it, like concussions we probably got from being thrown around in the jet.
Well, thankfully, I never had any head impacts, but I know somebody who did.
Jimmy?
No.
Or Snetty?
No.
Snetty had one.
I believe.
Or no,
it.
it was Snetty flying when that.
Yeah, Snetty flew through one when.
Right.
Yeah. Anyway, we're getting off the mark here.
And yeah, we're talking about head trauma as I get way off track. This Thursday, Alan and Chris who don't have head trauma, aka Frank and Fur, will be discussing the 2024 horror comedy Abigail. But before we can review it, first we must review it. Give it a watch on Amazon Prime and catch the review at Grave Reviews on YouTube at 8 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Layman Stars released Happy Easter Magic Cards yesterday on YouTube. We know you have 4 minutes to spare, so check it out. Drop them a like, subscribe, all that good stuff. The Orange Fett Show released episode 142 Citizenship Test this past Friday. I will catch it on Spotify or Apple, most likely Apple. I think Spotify had some big thing, didn't they, where it wasn't working properly this past week?
I have no idea.
Had some sort of hiccup.
Yeah. Not that I had heard.
We ask you to support the official Sidebar Cantina band till the end.
Yep.
And buy their shit. Go to https://tilltheendofficial.com. That is TILTHEENDOFFICIAL.com. It's unnecessary to spell that out, Dave. Seriously. TillTheEndOfficial.com to check out their tees, sweatshirts, stickers, and posters. Be sure to drop your email for updates as an album should be coming soon. Using Abuse went live this past Saturday with Having a Fun Evening on YouTube.
Oh.
Check out the replay on YouTube. You can find us at bio.link/sidebarcantina, where you can find our links to Patreon, YouTube, our audio podcast on Apple, Audible, and Spotify, and all social media platforms, including X, Instagram, Facebook, Twitch, and TikTok, and Discord. Once you get to the bio link, simply click the symbols under our pick to go to your platform of choice. You can also find our past Spotify mixtape playlists. Also under our bio link is our TeePublic merch shop. Choose from 7 designs on everything from t-shirts, hoodies, to tote bags, phone cases, exclusive sticker and pin, wall arts, magnets, notebooks, laptop cases, pillows. Just about anything you can imagine. Nothing says love and like a naked Jason chick on a pillow, as we proved over the weekend with some of our conversations. I did in the Discord, did it get posted? The my head with that rack. Anyway, check it out on the Discord channel. You'll understand what I'm talking about.
Okay.
But it's still not as good as a naked Jason chick on a pillow.
Right.
Go to bio.link/sidebarcantina and click merch. Reviews?
No new reviews.
Please write us a 5-star review on Apple or Audible. Don't have an Apple or Audible account. It has a Facebook page, a review feature too. Which I don't care about. Just screenshot a review, however you do it, before you hit done, and DM us a pic on Instagram or Twitter with your name and address, so Lunar Girl can send you a super cool family ATSW family swag pack. It's your chance to tell us your thoughts on the show. Jason, Jennifer Lopez, or Hank, or Edith, or Mama, or Tom Brokaw, or Bix's boyfriend, or somebody who will read your review word for word on our next episode. Let us know who you want to read it. Finally, if you catch us on Spotify, help us out. Click those stars. If you're listening to us on audio, please consider joining us in the live chat. On Mondays, the chat is most definitely where it's at. If you're new to Sidebar, please subscribe, ding that bell, and select all to receive notifications when we go live. Remember to smash that like button. It really helps us out. As always, a huge shout out to our Patreon supporters. You are the reason why we do this. And that's it.
All right. And look at that. We made it just in time.
Booyah!
So that's it, folks. Next week, we are definitely talking some Andor Season 2. I don't know how many episodes we're going to get to. I don't even want to promise getting to all 3 because I just have no idea if Kristen and I are going to have ample time to watch all 3 over the next week. But if we do, we'll talk about all 3.
Yep.
We'll try to get into as much detail as we can. So, yeah.
Whatever we do, however many episodes we do, we're going to give a spoiler free, and then we'll give you the lowdown.
Fucking right.
The lowdown dirty.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
My penis is so smooth.
All right. Well, thank you again, Dave, for being here. Thank you to all of our viewers on YouTube and especially our audio listeners. We love you guys. We haven't forgotten about you. And until next time, may the force be with you.
Dave and everyone else.
Dave and everyone else. May the force be with you.
May the force be with you. You can't mess up the flow. Okay, now what do I click? That. You click that.
All right. Cool. All right. I'm in the stream, guys. We love you. See you next week with some brand new content. Andor Season 2.
Booyah!